Prince Harry doesn't just stir the royal pot anymore, he is the pot, the fire underneath it, and the steam blasting through every palace window in Britain. His latest interview isn't just news, it's a ticking time bomb. And oh, when it went off, it didn't just rattle the palace walls, it sent shockwaves across the entire kingdom. What's inside this so-called bombshell? A messy cocktail of contradictions, sly digs, and a whole lot of nerve. But the most shocking thing, it wasn't even the words themselves, it was the way he said them. Cold, calm, like he truly believed he was some knight in shining armor fighting for truth, when in reality, he was tossing grenades at his own family while waving around a fake white flag of peace. And let's get right into the line that sent eyebrows skyrocketing across the world. His subtle yet poisonous comments about King Charles. He didn't outright say it, but oh, he implied it loud and clear, that his father's health is dire. He made it sound like the king's time is running short. He painted it as concern. But make no mistake, this wasn't love, this wasn't care, this was strategy. Cold, calculated, manipulative strategy. Because let's be honest, you can't torch your family for years in interviews, books, and Netflix specials, and then suddenly act like the devoted son when whispers of illness surround your father. That's not compassion. That's PR wrapped in crocodile tears. And Harry's whole vibe in this piece? A man clutching at a narrative that's already slipped through his fingers. He proudly declared he has no regrets. None. Not for the Oprah interview, not for the Netflix series, not even for that infamous memoir where he overshared about frostbite in places no one asked to know about. He insists he loves the UK, and then trashes its people, its press, and its institutions every chance he gets. How does that even add up? It's like burning down your own house and then crying about the cold. Oh, and don't get me started on his constant veteran card. Yes, he served, no one denies that. But those staged pictures of him standing by graves, staring off with that practiced 1,000-yard look, people see through it. They see the performance. They know real sacrifice. And it doesn't look like a royal prince using fallen soldiers as a backdrop for sympathy points. It feels less like respect and more like camouflage for his brand. But here's the kicker, the delusion. Harry truly thinks the public is still swooning over him. He claims he feels the support of the people. Meanwhile, his events are practically ghost towns. People aren't staying away because of tabloid lies. They're just done with the act. Every time Harry steps foot back in the UK, it's like watching an actor in a role he no longer fits. He rejected the royal life, but he clings to the title like a safety blanket. He says he's happy that he likes who he is, that he loves the life he leads. If that's true, then why is he endlessly dragging himself back into the spotlight? Why the constant digs at his family? Why, if he's truly at peace, does he still look so desperate for validation? And then, of course, Meghan's little one-liner makes its entrance. Harry quotes her proudly, "When all else fails, fall back on the truth." Sounds powerful, doesn't it? Except, this is the same couple who've been caught twisting truths more times than anyone can count. They even had to issue a court apology for misrepresenting facts. Truth for them seems less like a compass and more like a prop they bring out when convenient. What's really fascinating is Harry's obsession with painting himself as some misunderstood hero. He talks like he's battling an evil empire, the British press, the royal institution, as if they're villains blocking him from living his truth. But after years of this, the public isn't buying it anymore. It's not that he left the royal family, people could have respected that. It's what he's done since. He's ripped into the very people who gave him everything while pretending he's just trying to heal. And let's talk about those contradictions. He swears he doesn't care about public opinion, then spends half his interviews whining about how the public doesn't understand him. He insists he doesn't want sympathy, then drops hints that he's been destroyed by the media. He can't decide if he's the strong rebel prince or the poor wounded boy. Which is it? And Meghan, oh, even when she's not center stage, her shadow lingers in every word he utters. Harry quotes her once, like she's some prophet of honesty. The irony? Meghan Markle has been caught in more inconsistencies than anyone can keep track of, from her childhood tales to career stories to conveniently forgotten messages with royal biographers. If truth is their weapon, maybe they need to double-check their own script. What's almost heartbreaking, if it wasn't so calculated, is how out of touch Harry seems with his own image. He still clings to the belief that the public sees him as the brave little boy who walked behind Diana's coffin. But that boy grew up, and the man people see today, someone who keeps burning bridges, then acting shocked when no one builds him a rescue boat. Even the throwaway lines in his interview reveal more than he probably intended. He said he misses people in the UK. But who exactly? Prince William? That ship has sailed. Reports say William doesn't even let Harry's name be mentioned in the same room. Old friends? Those ties are long severed. The reality is, no one's waiting with open arms. That fantasy might comfort Harry, but reality isolates. And let's not gloss over the Ukraine trip. Oh yes, Harry marching into a war zone with palace staff trailing behind him, as if it were some noble mission. But come on, everyone could see it for what it was, a photo op. A staged performance meant to paint him as brave and important, especially since he's been iced out of royal duties back home. Instead of looking heroic, it looked desperate. People aren't stupid. They know the difference between courage and PR theater. Then comes his constant tug of war with the press. One minute he says he doesn't care what's written about him. The next minute he whines endlessly that the public doesn't understand him. He claims he doesn't want sympathy, yet laces every statement with hints of victimhood. It's this exhausting pendulum swing between tough rebel prince and misunderstood boy. The act is wearing thin. And what about his family? The names of the people who once stood by him, Queen Elizabeth, Prince Philip, William, even Catherine, now get pulled out like props whenever they fit his storyline. He doesn't talk about them as loved ones anymore. They're characters in his script, used only when convenient. That's not love. That's not respect. That's exploitation. Harry loves to insist he's just correcting the narrative. But how many times can you correct the same story before it becomes clear you just enjoy the drama? This isn't truth-telling. This is rewriting history so he can always be the misunderstood hero. And when the world doesn't buy it, he blames the press, he blames the palace, he even blames the public for being brainwashed. Maybe the problem isn't blindness. Maybe the problem is that people now see too clearly. Because what do they see? A man so trapped in his own victimhood that he doesn't realize he's the one causing the harm. A man who preaches principles and morality but drips arrogance every time he opens his mouth. A man who insists his conscience is clear yet can't stop rehashing the same stories again and again, hoping repetition will make them true. And that's the ultimate irony. He claims he has no regrets. About Oprah, the Netflix doc, the memoir, the endless lawsuits and statements? Fine. But if he's so happy, so content, so at peace, why does he still sound so bitter? Why does he keep circling back to the past like it owes him something? His words don't sound like peace. They sound like a man spinning in circles hoping the blur will hide the contradictions. The myth of Prince Harry, the brave truth-teller standing up to the system, is crumbling. What's left isn't a hero. It's a man clinging desperately to relevance, even if it means dragging his family, his past, and even his own dignity through the mud. And maybe that's the tragedy of it all. The boy the world once pitied has grown into a man the world no longer trusts. He wanted to be free, to live authentically, to escape the palace walls. But in the process, he's built new walls around himself, walls of bitterness, contradictions, and endless self-justification. At the end of the day, Harry can keep talking. He can reframe, repackage, rewrite, but the more he does, the more people see through it, and the more the fairy tale of the rebel prince fades into the sad spectacle of a man who lost the plot and doesn't even realize the audience has stopped clapping.